Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video, I will share with you a very beautiful bag recipe whose model belongs to a famous brand. We will prepare a scholarship bag. I want to show you the model pattern closely. Look, we will work a very beautiful pattern with the Vayu technique. I want to show you the base right away. I used a cotton yarn for this work, but you can use any type of yarn, paper ropes, macrame ropes, shelf ropes right away. I want to show you the other side of the knitting like this. Let's open the inside right away. It has not been lined yet. If you want it to look like a mold with felt inside like this, you can make a felt lining, or you can use it by lining it directly. This is completely up to your taste. It was really a very stylish work. It was very enjoyable to make. We will do this work with only the frequent needle technique. Even those who are new to knitting can do it very easily. I am sure that all the details are shared with you step by step in the video. How much yarn I used, the size of our bag, the production stages. You can find all the details step by step. I hope it will be useful content for you. Before moving on to our recipe, I would like to make a small request from you. You can subscribe to our channel for free. I would be really happy if you like the video, and do not forget to leave your comments. Let's move on to our recipe. I used spaghetti yarn baby cotton yarn to knit my bag. 2 balls of each color are enough for this bag. I want to share with you the feature of the yarn right away. Its mixture is 50% cotton, 50% acrylic, 50 grams in weight, and 120 meters in length. Look, its texture is like this up close. We will have prepared our bag using a total of 4 balls. I will use a 20 centimeters metal burrs for my bag, and this burrs has a really nice feature. Look, I want to show it gradually like this. It opens completely. It also closes gradually. I also obtained this scholarship from Aksa Knitting Boutique. I will add the contact information to the description of the video. You can contact us by clicking there. You can securely place your orders from this scholarship. Look, I have completed my knitting piece. At this stage, I will be giving you all the details. We will prepare our bag with the Vayu technique. In other words, we will only knit tight needles. There are a few tricks in our bag. I will share them with you step by step in the video now. We knit it according to a template. I will add the photo of the template to the screen. If you want, you can stop the video at this stage and take a screenshot. Again, I will share this image in the community section of YouTube. And again, I will share this template on my Instagram account. It really has a very enjoyable production. You want to finish it as soon as possible and see the result. I use this navy blue and orange color as in the original bag. You can make it with the colors you want. You can prepare such a beautiful work by combining the 2 colors you want. I used cotton yarn, but if you want, you can prepare it with different yarns. After you are done working, you can finish your work with a bursa suitable for the mouth. It is really progressing with pleasure. I will give the measurement of the piece and I will share it with you step by step in the row numbers. Look, I want to give the knitting music measurement at this stage. Best look when I fold it in half. I knitted a flat round spiral like this. When I put a piece, we knitted on a flat surface like this. Look, our best bag is 33 centimeters long. At this stage, let's measure it like this. 25 centimeters. By the way, these measurements may differ for you. Even if we use the same yarn, the same crochet hook number, the measurements I give may be a little less or a little more for you. This will change due to our knitting tightness and looseness. It is also useful to state this. Now look, I took my computer with me from the screen. I will open the template. I will proceed according to the template. Here is the yarn I will use right away. I want to show you its texture closely as well. My crochet hook number is also 3 millimeters. You can determine your own crochet hook number according to the thinness and thickness of your own yarn, the tightness and looseness of your knitting. You can work this with cotton yarns as well as paper yarns, raffia yarns, macrame yarns, and many different yarns. Now look, when we look at the template, there are 40 boxes in the template. I knitted the empty boxes in orange and the boxes with black dots in navy blue. Now there are 40 boxes in total, as I said, and we will put 2 models in the front and 2 models in the back, so we need to get a total of 160 tight crochets in the form of 40 plus 40 plus 40 plus 40. What will we do now? Look, you can make this bag wider. In other words, you don't put 4 flowers. In other words, you don't put 4 in your model. You can put 6, you can put 5. This may change depending on the size of the scholarship we will make. As I said, I am working with a cotton one for a 20 centimeters burrs. 4 patterns are enough. I am doing it as in the original. But if you are going to use a larger burrs, you can also make 5 of this template. We worked 4 here. We repeated the template 4 times. But you can also work in the form of 5 or 6. Now here we will start with a chain. We made our first chain lock after the lock chain. Look, I am starting to pull our chains. Now I will describe a smaller example here. We repeated 4 here. We repeated the template 4 times. We have 4 flowers here at the beginning, but now I want to work 2 flowers. What did we do here? We repeated the template 4 times. Each template consisted of 40 single crochets. For this work, I needed 160 single crochets for the big work. And what did I do? I started with 160 chains. Now I want to repeat the template 2 times here. So what will I do? I will do 40 plus 40. In other words, I will start with 80 chains in total. As I said, you can repeat this number, the number of the pattern, as many times as you want. It is up to you to increase or decrease. Now I am preparing the first stage by pulling a total of 80 chains. I prepared a total of 80 chains. I started with 160 large chains. As I said, I started with 80 chains because I repeated the pattern twice. Now, without letting the chain curl, I take it in a neat way and look, we will create a ring. While knitting the single crochets here and there, I did not insert them into the chain. If you want, you can insert them directly into them, but I will reverse it. I will use the chain and the dotted lines on the back. Look, we will have knitted our single crochets by inserting them into these points. Now what am I doing? I am removing the loop here. After knitting my 80 chains, look, without letting them curl, I am bringing it from the reverse side right away. Look, the loop here is after the first lock chain. I knitted it, I put it on the chain. I am inserting it into the back dotted line here. Look at the first point. Even let's take this yarn out from here so that it looks clearer. Look, I passed it through the loop. I am inserting it into the first back dotted line. I am actually establishing a connection with the loop here. Look, I inserted the knitting into this point without folding it. Now I'm taking my loop from here. Look, I put 1 stitch through here, I pull 1 chain. Now I come to the same point and knit 1 single crochet. I knitted my single crochet in the first point. So look at the stitch from here. Let's get the yarn out of the way again. We left the stitch in between and made a connection. Look, this short yarn will determine our end and start point. If you want, you can also put a safety pin in this point. The reverse part of the chain is always visible. We created a ring like this at the last point we will sink. Look, I want to show this point, which will be the back dotted line of the last chain we knitted. Look, the last back. The back cut line of the last chain. We are inserting into this yarn point that is always one intermittent one. Look, I am showing this point so that when we turn the hook, 2 lines will remain on this side. When you start like this, you get a neat and tidy image. In fact, I want to show it by zooming in. Look, in this part, we have obtained a spike by spike image. What are we going to do now? I'm starting with single crochets. Look at the next one. We use this stitch for connection here. I am not touching it anymore. I am opening it like this. The back cut line of the next chain is here. I insert into this one too. I took out a loop. I knit my single crochet. I insert into the back cut line of the next chain. I took out a loop. I knit my single crochet. Now, since I will repeat the pattern twice in total, I need 40 plus 40, 80 single crochets. Look at 80 in total. I will obtain my 80 single crochets with the chain by forming a ring. When I insert into the last point, I must have knitted my 80th single crochet. You can adjust your count accordingly. Here I started with 160 chains and obtained 160 single crochets in this way. Now let's knit a total of 80 single crochets. Now let's complete a row in this way. Look, we have come to the end of our row. I am inserting the 80th single crochet here into the back cut line of the chain we will knit. I took off a loop and knitted my 80th single crochet. I have prepared a total of 80 single crochets in this way. Now look, I knitted 3 rows at the beginning by inserting directly into their tops. I wanted to insert them into their tops in this base section, but if you want, you can insert them directly into the outer single wings of the single crochet, as we will use in the Vayu technique here. But now we will knit in a spiral manner. I inserted right into the top of the first single crochet. I took off a loop. I am knitting my single crochet. Look, we made the connection in this way. Our final single crochet is visible. If you want, you can insert a hook needle at this point, or I use this short yarn as a basis. Look, when I come to this point, I can see the ends and beginnings of the row, but as I said, if you want, you can insert a hook needle. Now I knit one by inserting into the top of each single crochet. I will knit a single crochet until the end of the row. After knitting our single crochet over the last single crochet without making any joining, etc., I immediately insert into the top of the first single crochet. Look, we continue to knit in a spiral manner. We will continue knitting in this way, turning around and around on this circular piece. Look again, since I knitted 3 rows, I insert 1 single crochet into each of them and insert into the top spaces. Look, we will complete this 1, 2, 3 rows. This row will be our last row. Now, let's come to the point where this short yarn is until the end of the row. Now let's move on to our pattern and the wow technique. Look, now we have come to the end of our row. I knit my single crochet by inserting into the top of the last single crochet here. I have completed the row. Now, what am I going to do? I will start the wow technique, and I have my other color ready. Now look at the tops of the single crochets here. We were sinking in this way, holding 2 lines on the hook and sinking in the peaks. Now look at the top. When we hold it like this, there are 1 or 2 lines. When we sink right into the middle of it, we take the outer single wing of the tight needle onto our hook. We take a loop from this point and knit our tight needle. Look, we started a new row. Now when you look at the pattern, I want to add the pattern to the side. What is it? We will knit 13 tight needles. On the 14th needle, we will have added our new color, but what will we do? Let's knit 3 or 5 single crochets at the beginning. Look, the point we will knit here is very important. I want to show it in detail. It is not the top of the single crochet. Look, we will always insert it into these points. After this, I want to show it like this. Look, I insert it into its single outer channel and knit a single crochet. Look, I insert it into its single outer wing. I pull out a loop. Look, my next single crochet is this. What am I doing? I insert it right in the middle of the points that are standing like this and outside. I take it into the single line here. I pull out a loop and knit my single crochet. Now I knitted a little at this point. Look, how many we knitted is immediately obvious. We knitted 1, 3, or 4 single crochets. I immediately take my new color. It needs to be included here so that it is even and a little. Let's hide the yarn at the beginning. I took the yarn to the back. Look, what will I do? I insert it into the single outer channel of the next single crochet and keep the new color on the hook. I leave a short yarn for a while. I pull out a loop from this point. I am knitting my single crochet. We started knitting by hiding the new color, the outer single wing of the next single crochet. I hope the points we will insert are clearly understood. We will now knit the single crochets by inserting these points. I want to show it once more. Look, we insert the single crochets and the standing point exactly in the middle and remove them from the back like this. We will have knitted our single crochets by inserting these parts. Always look at these points, always this. We will knit the single crochets by inserting the points. What did we say? 13 pieces like this. I am knitting our light color, that is the empty boxes, so that there will be 13 pieces. I am counting. Look, 2, 4, 6 immediately. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. What am I doing while knitting the 13th one? I dropped a stitch. Now I will change color. Look, I will change color while knitting the 13th one. I immediately took another color on my finger. From here, I wrapped my yarn around the hook with my new color. We have made the color transition by closing 2 stitches with the new color in this way. Now look. I look at the template. There are 2, 4, 5 dotted areas. That is the place where I will knit dark colored. Now I knit 5 tight stitches in the next row. I start immediately, one after another, 12 MP3, 14 V. While knitting the last one, we change colors. While knitting V, I took off the stitch. I immediately take my other color and look, we close the 2 stitches in the other color and make the color transition like this. Wow, this is the only technique. Look, we take the back wings and proceed according to the template by making our color transitions like this. Now look, what did we do when we look at the template? We knitted 13 light colored ones at the beginning. That is, we knitted an empty box. Our light color represents the empty box. The boxes with black dots represent the dark color. Now we knitted 13 of our light colors here. Look, there are 5 black dots in the box. We knitted 5 of our dark colors. Now, by the way, if you look at the template, we have 8 dots that are light colored. We made 1-2 color transitions right here. In between, look, whichever yarn is left behind, we are knitting it by hiding it on the hook. We are hiding the yarns at the back. Look, let's knit 8 of our light colors like this. 2, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8. I took off the stitch while knitting. There are 2 stitches. I immediately take my other color. I will change the color. I wrap the new color with the hook and I close the 2 stitches and look. Now this color is left behind. What am I doing? I am knitting it by hiding it too. Now we have 2 dark colors here. We are proceeding according to the template. As I said, insert the next tight needle point and look at the back single wing. We are hiding the yarn at this stage. 1 or 2. I knitted my dark color here. We will change the color in the second one. I am leaving my dark color. Look, we continue from one direction and one back like this so that the yarn does not curl. I wrapped the yarn and made the color transition. Now when we count at the end, there are 12 empty boxes. What will I do? How many empty boxes are left after these 2 dark colors? I knit my light color with it. And now 12 boxes are visible. I knit 12 single crochets now. Look, we will advance the pattern like this. It is really easy once you understand the logic. You can print your pattern in front of you if you want, or you can easily look at it on your computer or phone. Let's knit 12 single crochets like this. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12, and look. We have completed the pattern. Our starting point is here. We have completed 40 single crochets like this. 13 of them are light colored, 5 of them are well. There are 8 open in between, 2 dark. The remaining 12 are in light color like this. We have completed the first pattern, that is the pattern once, but the knitting continues here. We will repeat the pattern twice. What will we do? We go back to the beginning. Here we counted 12 boxes, empty boxes. We started with empty boxes at the beginning. How many were there? Let's remember. 13 right here. What are we going to do here? We're going to add 13 more to 12. Look, I'm not changing colors. I'm back to the beginning. I'm reading the pattern from the beginning again because I'm repeating the pattern for the second time. Now we're going to knit 13 light colored ones here. 12 at the end, 13 light colored ones at the beginning. So in total, after these 2 dark colors, there should be 25 tight stitches here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25. I'm stopping at 25. I'll change the color. I immediately bought my other color. And here I closed 2 stitches of the other color. Let's remember, what did we do? At the beginning we had 13 light colors. We had 5 dark colors. I immediately repeat these 5 colors, that is, the process at the beginning, one by one. Look, I change colors in 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I took off the stitch of the 5th single crochet. I take the other color and look. I made a color change by closing the light colored stitch. There were 8 single crochets in between. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, 8. I don't close. Look, we had 8 light colors. I immediately switched to the dark color and knit my 2 single crochets. I took off 1 stitch and made a color change in the second one. Now let's remember how many single crochets were left at the end. We started with 13 when we started 12. I need to finish with 12 single crochets when we finish. Look, the back is a clean look. We knit by hiding the yarn. If you look at the yarn, what is our trick here? If you leave it too loose, the yarns will be visible from the outside. If you pull too much, if you pull the yarn we carry inside while knitting like this, it will tighten. This will also damage the surface of the knitting. Once your hand gets used to it, you will manage it in a balanced way. There should be 12 in our light color. When we come to the end point, we will have 12 single crochets with the light color. Let's see if we did it right. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And the last single crochet, C12. How do I understand the last single crochet? Look here, this was our first single crochet with the first wow technique. This is already our finishing single crochet. The 12th single crochet was our last single crochet. In other words, the row is equal. Look, we have completed the model. We have repeated the pattern twice in one row. Now we will continue. Look again, we continue by walking the dark colored yarn. I will look at the pattern here now. What did we do in the second row? In the second row, we have 13 light colors in the first row. In the second row, this number will be 12. I'll start right away. I'm counting 12. We have moved on to the second row. Now you can make one cross in each end row of the template in order not to lose your place, or you can count the row like this. Now let's knit 12 frequent needle traces in order. We will change the color in 12. Good. See this template? I want to show it in detail like this. I hope it is explanatory. Now I am here, I will knit the 12th single crochet. I took off the stitch of the 12th single crochet. I am changing the color, I am closing it, I am looking right away. We had 5 single crochets in the dark colored point. Now there will be 8 in this order. 1 will increase at the beginning, 2 will increase at the end. Look immediately, I am knitting the 13th dark colored stitch after 12 single crochets to this point. I continue with dark colored stitches to the dark colored points again. If you look at the template, the black dots in the box represent our dark color. We said that the empty boxes represent our light color. It is very, very enjoyable to read the template and look at it this way. I'll move on now. Look, there are 2 more points. Immediately move this point to the 7th and 8th. I knit my dark colored single crochet. I immediately change colors on the 8th stitch. I changed it. And I look how many boxes I have here. I will count according to the template. Because I have my angled template in front of me on my computer, I look right away. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 boxes. Let's knit these 6 boxes right away. 1 with a light color. Look, I'm hiding the other yarn. 2, 5, 4, 5. Now I'm doing a color change on the 6th. On the 6th, I'm changing my color. Now I'm starting with a dark color. Look, there are 6 dark colors here. 6 dark colors in the second row. The dark color comes right above the point where the sheep is. Look, I'm continuing 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Look, we knitted 2, 4, 6 dark colors. Look, I'm not closing the stitch in the 6th. I'm closing the last 2 stitches with the other color because I'm going to change the color. Now let's count how many empty boxes there are here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 boxes. 8 boxes, then plus 12 boxes at the beginning. In this way, we will knit the model by matching it as I described it. After this, reading the pattern. The pattern is also quite easy. We will continue our knitting in this way. There's no need to describe what happens after this. There's no need to give too much detail, because there's no other trick. We'll knit the tight stitches by taking the outer wings. I showed the color transition. Look, we're knitting by hiding the yarns. It looks like this from the reverse. We'll repeat the pattern twice. Now we'll knit as many boxes as the number of boxes at the end. Then we'll knit as many boxes as the number of boxes at the beginning. After seeing these points, when you follow the dark colors, you can easily see where you will sink. Look at it as a whole. Now I am repeating the pattern twice. Here I repeated it 4 times. Look. 1, 2, 3, 4 patterns. It's a pretty big piece like this. You'll read the pattern completely. You'll proceed according to the template. Look, it already switches to dark color after the template is finished. After finishing the template, you switch to the last dark color. We started with a light color at the beginning. I finished with a dark color while finishing. And look how many rows I knitted with a dark color here. After the light color was finished, I completed my knitting with 2 rows of dark color. If you want your bag deeper, you can make more light color when you start, and you can knit your dark color in more rows when you finish. You'll center the pattern more. This is completely up to your taste. How many rows you want to make is that much. You can proceed now, template. I hope it was explanatory at this point. You'll proceed according to the template. The template gives you step by step how many boxes of light color, how many boxes of dark color. These are already given to you row by row. You multiply each row you finish. So if this is your first time working on this type of template or like this, you know there are colored pencils, you erase it. In order not to mix up that row you knitted, we prepared our bag by repeating the same pattern 4 times. Now the pattern is finished. After it was finished, I knitted 2 rows in dark color. Look, my other orange color is here. I cut my light color after finishing the pattern and I had nothing to do with this yarn anymore. After cutting, I knitted 2 rows of dark color. I will knit the last single crochet at the point I followed here. I am inserting it into the outer single channel of the last single crochet here. I knitted my single crochet. Now let's pull 1 chain here like this, and I leave my yarn a little long and cut it off. Look, we finished the bag like this. Now first I want to put the base of our bag together. I didn't do any ironing or anything like that. Now we will put the base together. Look, I am turning the knitting to the wrong side. Let's see the inside. Look, it's very clean inside. We use 2 balls of yarn from each color. Look, I will cut and clean the excess yarn at the end. This way, a clean work is achieved. These are the places where I changed the color, that is, where I attached the new yarn. Now look at the orange part. This is the end and the beginning. We will join right here straight. Let's join right away. Look, after turning our knitting over, I immediately take my orange color. I created the first loop by creating a loop with a chain here. Now look here. Our ending and starting points are clear. I am folding it in half like this. Look, I want this point from the end to remain on the edge. Now look, these look like spikes by inserting into each chain oppositely. Let's remember, we always insert into the back dotted line. Now the chains will look like this oppositely. We will knit our single crochets by inserting into these points. Now look, I am inserting from the first point I started. I will look at the opposite one like this. I inserted into the single crochet point. I took a loop from here to the chained point and knitted my single crochet. I am sinking into the next space and sinking into the next single crochet point. Look, sinking into the bases of the single crochets and combining the 2 pieces like this with single crochet. I am sinking into the bottom part of the single crochet. Look, I am sinking into the opposite piece of the chained point. I am removing the loop and making single crochet at this stage. I used a 2.5 millimeter crochet hook in order to sink easily. Since it is a chained point, I am sinking easily. Now I will combine the base with single crochet like this until the end of the row. See here, I am sinking the last single crochets opposite each other. I'm sinking into the last point here and I pull a chain, and here again I leave my yarn a little short like this and cut it. I tighten the chain at this point. Look, we are continuing to do the process in a straight manner in reverse now. I want to show it like this. Look, when you sink into these points in the straight part, especially if you sink into the points I have shown, this texture, that is a texture suitable for the base, is formed. Look, it does not have a perforated texture. This is a really nice technique. Now we have completely joined the base in this part. What are we going to do now? We are going to give depth to our bag. I am leveling it like this. Leveling it here is important. Let's turn it over to the other side. Look, we are flattening it with our hands according to the base. And here we will actually use the boat we made in the sewing. I am folding it from the edges like this. Look, if I were to give the size like this, How many centimeters will we stitch? Let's see that too. Here we will take this part inside. Like this, 6 centimeters is enough. Look, it's not too much, it's not too deep. We will stitch 6 centimeters at this point. Right at this stage, I will use an handmade needle. I am doing it in orange again because the orange is dense at the base. Let's attach our thread right here. As I said, I'm using an handmade needle. I put some rope in, I cut enough. I won't tie a knot here, I'll hide the rope and fold it twice like this. Look here. I pass my rope through the points where the orange is dense. We will cut this thread later with the help of a needle. Let's pass it through the intermediate point like this. Now look, as I said, I'm going to make our stitch here about 6 centimeters. The frequent needles are quite visible anyway. If you want, you can put a normal needle here like this and say, what kind of stitch will you make at which stage? You can see that too. I'm straightening it with my hand like this. I had already measured it 6 centimeters. Now look, I'm sewing here like this. Classic. If you want, you can also sew this with a machine. You can also machine sew. We will create a base in the form of a triangle. Now by making these corners, we will give depth to the bag. Now let's sew until the last point. When I show it in the video, I sew it quickly like this to make it faster. I finish it at this end. Look, we made the stitching here. If I show it like this piece will stay inside, and when we turn the bag over, we will have created the bottom like this. Let's show it like this. As you can see, we have given the bag enough depth. I gave it a depth of 6 centimeters. Let's take a look at the depth of our bag. When it ends, we have a depth of about 6 centimeters again, like 6 centimeters. The edge part, look, it will be seen like this on the base. Let me show you like this. Now the process I did here, of course, I will fix my thread here, and I plan to fix this end to this point like this. Now look at the other side in the same way as I showed. Whatever I did here, I do exactly the same thing. I will do the same stitching here, the same size, like this, like this, like this, my stitching. I will fix this end right here to the base part like this. You can hang this bag. It will be nice with a hanger too, but if you don't have the opportunity to hang it, you can easily use it without a hanger with the needle we sewed. Now let's create the base as we showed. Then let's move on to placing the burrs. Look, we have completed the base of our bag. We knitted both ends in the same way, and we have a base depth of close to 5 to 6 centimeters. I didn't prepare a very deep base like the original. It had a base of this size like this. Now we will move on to wrapping the burrs. For this, look, this is all the yarn I have left from the bowl. Now I can't wrap it comfortably because it's too big. Now I'm going to wrap a small ball. I'm going to wrap it quickly to wrap it around the bursa. Let's create our small ball. Look, I wrapped my yarn in a small ball like this now. The gold part will be left open. I'm leaving a long rope right here and tying a couple of knots. Now look, we'll wrap this. I've shared this wrapping process with you many times. After fixing it here, we'll start wrapping this part right away. We'll wrap our rope in this way until the metal part is completely covered. I fixed it like this. You can pass through the same place several times. The aim is to close this place completely like this. Take care. I completely wrap my thread so that the metal part is not visible. Finally, we will place our burrs in our bag with the handmade needle. In this way, completely, look, I turn my thread into a small ball and I completely wrap the point where the metal part is visible. In this way, no metal part will be visible, only this part will be exposed. See, in the transitions, for example, we are here. When passing to this side, look like this. Think of what we are wrapping. When passing from here, our thread is here. Look around this, go directly from this gold part to this side and fix it from here without tightening too much. Look again, we will go to this side and do this wrapping process in the same way. By tightening it completely like this, we will have covered the burrs in our thread. Now let's complete this, and now let's move on to the assembly process. Look, I have completely wrapped our burrs here and completed it. When we lay down the edges of our bag like this, I made the exact edge points clear with safety pins. If you want, you can count the number of tight needles and divide it by 2 and do it like that. Now look at the point where the safety pin is. Look at our burrs. We will leave the opening. Let's count here approximately safety pin. I will leave 1, 2 or 3 tight needles. But before that, look, I have attached my thread to my etamine needle. I have left enough thread at this point. We will sew in a single layer. Now I am passing my thread through the point where the safety pin is like this. I won't tie a knot. Let's take it out from the top of the third tight needle like this. Let's leave a little bit of string like this, then we'll hide it. Now we'll leave enough space here. Let's open it completely like this, so it's easier for us to assemble. Look at the point where the safety pin is. This is the middle part. I'm aligning it exactly with this roundness, so we'll leave a space here, 1, 2, 3 pieces. I leave a single crochet opening. See what I do next? I take this yarn, I skip it over the burrs so that it coincides with the edge and the yarn will hold it anyway. I come back to the single crochet space where I first inserted it and pass the yarn through here. See? Let's hold it over the yarn. I fix the first point by passing it through here. I pass the yarn over it again. I insert it through the next single crochet point. See? Since my yarn is dark, I hope you can understand it. I have shared these processes with you in previous videos. Some will remember. There are also knits that I have shown in light colors. If it is too unclear here, I can share those videos with you if you want. Look, I am skipping the yarn. I insert it from inside the bag. I bring it out to the top of the next single crochet. With the help of the needle, I take my yarn. Look, I'm passing the yarn over it like this. I'm inserting it into the top of the next single crochet from the inside. Again, with the help of the yarn, I'm taking it out like this. I'm passing the yarn. I'm inserting it into the next single crochet space and I'm taking the yarn out like this. Now we're going to sew this completely with this wrapping stitch. Look, we're going to assemble it. We're going to fix it like this until we get to the point where the safety pin is. And look, here, you need to leave 3 single crochets from the safety pin, 3 single crochets before the safety pin, 3 single crochets after the safety pin, and leave this intermediate space. If you don't leave this space, it will tighten. I want to come to this assembly process. I am sharing the process at this end with you right away. I was joining here. I had a little bit of yarn left here. I left it and put a new yarn on again. We will continue like this. Look, I want to show you this part in detail. We will hide these yarns and the short yarns later right inside. Look, the point where the hook is, it will coincide with the point where this ball is. Right here again, when tying the yarn, always look like this. 1, 1, 2, 3. I am removing the yarn from the single crochet a little bit without making a knot. Look, we are assembling it by walking like this, hiding it. Now when I look like this, look, I will sew from this end. Let's not leave this yarn too short by inserting it into the top of the third single crochet here. Look, I'm immediately sinking into this point again. When I do it this way, we can mount it more regularly when I start from the edge. I'll continue from here, then fix that thread and look. Then how am I going to do it when I pass from here? Now we've fixed it here. I want to show it like this. Let me take out the end of this thread. I'm passing 3 tight stitches here. I'm sinking into the top of these. Look, that tight stitch we finished with, we'll hide this one too. This looks a little messy now. Now we'll tidy up this point. Look, I've sunk into the top of the other tight stitch. I'll come to the point where the safety pin is. Now look, I'm getting closer. like this with the sweating method, or like me, you can also pass with a stitch from front to back. Now with the safety pin. After the safety pin, I'll pass 1 or 2 or 3 tight stitches right away. Let this safety pin stay here from the next point. Look, we've sunk into this point from the next point from the front to back. I'm sinking. I stuck in the second tight stitch. After the safety stitch, let's get past the part that blocks us like this. I immediately went over the top of the third single crochet. Look, I passed here like this. I passed here with stitches, and look, I didn't touch the golden dot at all. I left a gap here. In other words, I left 7 loop gaps. Now I'm skipping the yarn over from here, and look, I went over. Single crochet, that is, I go over the top of the third single crochet hook, then I go over the top of the third single crochet and I start sewing at this point, skipping the yarn over again, going over the top of the next single crochet from the inside and making my stitch. I go over it, going over the top of the next single crochet. Look, I do the assembly process like this with the wrapping work. Now look, my yarn was short here. I'll fix it before tying a knot again. After fixing it, I'll walk my yarn inside a little and look, I'll fix it up to here. Then we'll fix the other remaining point as I showed you and finish here, and we'll have finished our bag. You can use this bag with felt lining if you want, as I said, or you can easily use it without lining like this. Now let's finish our bag and share its final form with you. We finished by placing our burse in our bag. The length of our base is 28 centimeters, the width is 6 centimeters. The part from the base to the burse is 24 centimeters. We completed our bag by using 4 balls in total, 2 orange, 2 navy blue. Our recipe was like this. I hope you like it and try it. I wish ease to those who will make it in advance. Don't forget to like our video, leave a comment and subscribe to our channel. Goodbye until we see you in the next video.